Man undresses woman on hot air. Just as he was about to do something exciting, a drop of blood suddenly fell on the woman's face. It turned out the hot air balloon, now out of control, was rising at an alarming speed. If it didn't descend soon, they would both die up there. Seeing her companion struggling to breathe on the verge of suffocation, Millia didn't hesitate and climbed up the rope. But before she could steady herself, one foot missed and she almost slipped down. Millia adjusted her pace, looking at her bloodied hands. The intense shaking made her afraid to look down. With no safety precautions, she climbed up the surface of the balloon. The frosty balloon was extremely slippery. A single misstep could send her plummeting from the hot air balloon. But if she didn't open the frozen valve, the balloon would continue to rise until it exploded. When she reached the middle of the balloon, the severe lack of oxygen made her want to give up. What's worse, the upper part of the balloon had no rope ladder, and the slippery surface made it impossible for her to climb up alone. She saw a nearby rope and decided to give it a shot. Millia cautiously reached for the rope, her left hand loosening slowly, just as she was about to grab it. Legs tightly bound to the rope. Her oxygen-deprived brain was rapidly flooding with blood. Her breathing gradually weakened. It seemed like Millia was about to lose consciousness, but her intense will to survive brought her back to awareness. It wasn't time to give up. She pushed herself to the limit, finally grabbing the rope. Ignoring the pain in her hands, she struggled to get back on her feet. Then she securely wrapped the rope around her waist and climbed again toward the top of the balloon. Not knowing how much time had passed, Millia finally reached the top of the balloon, her hair and eyelashes coated in frost, her body numb from the cold. But what followed left her feeling numb. No matter how hard she tried, the valve wouldn't budge. At 50 below zero, the valve had been frozen shut. Success was within reach, but Millia refused to give up. High in the air, she made a bold decision. Millia stared at the valve and stood up, her body shaking uncontrollably. She didn't have time to think and kicked the valve. After several attempts, hot air erupted, nearly knocking Millia off. After that, Millia couldn't hold on anymore. She collapsed onto the hot air balloon, completely unconscious. Seems to have forgotten that she's up in the air. Not knowing how much time had passed, Millia still hadn't woken up. However, the balloon began to descend, the temperature rising. The ice slowly began to melt. Millia's body began to slide down. Realizing something was wrong, she suddenly woke up. But it was too late. She could only let her body roll and fall into the endless abyss.